Nation, do you know what the minimum credit score requirements are for a VA home loan? Let's find out. Let's get after it. All right, guys. Hey, it's Jeff Newton here with National VA Loans and Leader One Financial, division of Leader One Financial. And to contact us here, of course, it's 855-956-4040. Or, of course, check us out on nationalvaloans.com. You can, we're always there. You can always check us out there. But today we want to get into what the minimum credit score requirements are for a VA home loan. And I know that it can be confusing because there's different rules, different guidelines. You look at the VA says doesn't really say anything about credit scores. They don't really talk about credit scores. But then you have lenders that are a little bit different. So let's talk about this. And of course, we're just going to speak to what we do here at National VA Loans, Leader One Financial, just to keep it simple. But I know that with the VA that there really aren't credit score requirements for them to back and securitize 25% of a VA home loan. So, which is good. It's a good thing that VA doesn't have that. But each and every lender has their own what they call overlays. So you have the layer of guidelines from the VA, and then these lenders that are actually lending the money kind of come right over top of it. So we'll just jump into this real fast here. I'm gonna pull this up. Um, Here we go. Minimum credit score requirements for VA home loans. 550 minimum credit score. So if you have a 550 credit score or above, we can typically get VA home loan. Now there's a lot of criteria that goes into that. You know, a lot of times we hear them say, "Well, 550 credit score with good credit." Well, that's not the same damn thing. That those things don't exist together. So, a couple things we want to look at: no late payments in the last 12 months. Of course, that'll keep your credit score a little bit higher if you can have no late payments in the last 12 months. Pretty important. Of course, be current on all federal debt, student loans, things like that. So be current on all that. Collection accounts. You want the total of any collections. So if you do have collections out there that are loan or credit cards or whatever that may have went into in a collection account, and as long as they're a total combined collections are below $2,500, it gives us a little leeway. It keeps us out of the debt to income ratio issue. So that's one thing you want to think about is we don't have to chart or don't have to show payments on those collections because they're below $2,500. And then of course every judgment needs to be paid off or in a payment plan. So when I talk about and this includes any kind of federal debt, or any kind of federal judgment. So if you were to have tax loans, something along those lines, as long as they're in a payment plan and we can show a 3-month history of that payment plan. Keep in mind, it is 3 months. We need to show a 3-month history. But as long as we can show that 3-month history, then you can still have that debt or that judgment, but we just have to count that payment, whatever that payment plan that you have set up. We just have to count that against you as far as in your debt to income ratio. And there is another video coming out here real soon, debt to income ratio. You might even be able to put a link up here somewhere, but it is going to be over debt to income ratio, so we'll help you understand that. One thing that we always say is, people have bad credit. I've had bad credit. I mean, we've all had bad credit. Well, I won't say all, but a lot of people have had bad credit. But there is always a plan. So I want to run through that with you. So first and foremost with credit, you want to know what's on your credit report. And I put the really big, bold letters down there, annualcreditreport.com. It's a great place where you can go on for free and get a credit report once a year and kind of look through it and make sure it's right. But that is very important to go down and look through it and make sure that everything that's reporting on there is accurate and supposed to be on there. Next, pay down your revolving debt. If you have credit card debt, things of that nature, pay that down. Okay, you want your typical rule of thumb is about 30%. So if you have an available credit line on a credit card of $1,000, you want to keep the balance on that $300 or below. So pay down revolving debt. And in the adverse of that, increase credit card limits. So if again you got the same credit card that's $1,000, but you owe $900 on it, so it's almost maxed out, but you've paid it on time for 12 months in a row. Really, I would say 6 months is probably your best bet. But as long as you paid on time for 6 months and you've not gone over the limit, okay, if you don't go over the limit, then I would call and reach out or somehow get a hold of the credit card company and attempt to get that credit card limit increased. Get current on all accounts. That's a pretty easy safe assumption. Be current on all your accounts. And then this last one is it's really one that got confusing over the last few years. People that self-report their debt, and whether it be an electric bill, gas bill, whatever it may be, that whatever it is that doesn't actually show up on your actual credit report, it isn't a revolving debt. So, or maybe it's your rent, maybe it's rent, and you've got it showing as a self-reported debt. Take those off there. Those only hurt your debt to income ratio. They typically don't establish credit. Now, if you are trying to establish credit and you have self-reported, that's fine. But at the time that when you're getting ready to go do a loan or something along those lines, especially here at National VA Loans and Leader One, we're probably going to ask you to remove those because it does reduce your debt to income ratio and it doesn't really do a lot on your credit side of it. So, of course, if you have questions about any of this, give us a call at 855-956-4040. Any of our VA specialists are all well-versed in credit, all over 20 years of experience doing VA home loans and working with VA borrowers. If you are in the camp of a little bit lower credit and you want to know what a good plan is, again, we're the guys that are going to be more than happy to help you and go through that with you. Again, it's 855-956-4040. Of course, if you are a little bit like me and you're a little bit proactive and you like to get things done and get them done right away, go to nationalapplynow.com. And you can complete the whole application right there. It's a nice, secure application. You don't have to worry about your information going anywhere, except for one of our VA specialists who will reach out to you to go over your different options, go through your credit. And in fact, guys, if you have your credit ran and you're looking at a mortgage or anything, ask your mortgage specialist, especially here at National VA, ask your specialist to go through the credit with you line by line. They will do that, and they should do that because you need to know what's on it. But to be prepared, I would go into the annualcreditreport.com, pull an updated credit report on once a year just to know what's on there so you know what you're looking at. Again, folks, 855-956-4040 is the best way to contact us. And then nationalapplynow.com. I'd suggest going there and completing an application. Hey, we thank you so much for your service. Thank you for all you've done for our country, for all of us, and we couldn't be here without you. Until next time, God bless and take care of yourself.